Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to the next lesson of BMS Weapons School. In this video, there are tons of great information, but I assure you that they will all be useful in keeping you alive in the dogfight. We go over a few things to include what should be going through your mind before a merge, a 1-circle, 2-circle fight and their differences, lift vector placement, defensive and offensive perch exercises, and much more. Then we went into 3D and performed some of the maneuvers and exercises. This was a live instruction, so please excuse me if I misspoke or had some conflicting information. Do not miss out the instruction at the end during the full debrief. This is where the real learning takes place. Check out the description for chapters in my Aviation Plus store where all purchases directly support the channel. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. See ya. Alright, let's see if we can kill each other with 2,000 pounds. Fight's on. Alright, so there's basically 3 sub-modes of dogfight mode. You'll mostly be using this one, the sub-mode, and then if you use your TMS switch, so your target management switch, if you go up, I think it changes it, but you could switch between this sub-mode, which is the default, whatever's in front of you, your little reticle for your AIM-9 will growl and stuff, and you have 30 degrees by 20 degrees, and it's about 10 miles out. So within 10 miles, your radar will automatically slew to a target in front of you. And the 30 degrees by 20 degrees is roughly the size of your HUD. So if you get them within your HUD, it should lock on to them. This is obviously used for close range. If you're looking around, can't find anyone, you could be looking up and away from your nose. But if your aircraft locks onto something, unbeknownst to you, it'll say lock, and you'll be like, oh, something's in front of me, and you'll look forward and you'll decipher if it's friendly or not.
Yeah, copy that. If you TMS up, it'll bring up also that elliptical circle and look around.
Yes.
If you see the target,
this is the Boresight submode, which is this. So you can bring up the Boresight sight mode to bring up this plus, and you can move this cross in your HUD. And I'm pretty sure once you go outside the HUD, it turns into a elliptical. Turns into a little circle. So this is used for Boresight and off-angle shots. So if someone's in front of you or beside you, you can move your head and obviously move the circle over there and it'll lock onto them. And that's about a 3. Contact range is still 10 miles. 3 degrees below the HUD, or 3 degrees below the cross, basically how much it'll search. So if something's over here, probably not going to see them. You have to make sure that either the cross is over them or the elliptical right there.
Exactly.
And your FCR is I haven't really used it, but it's basically just there. There's no symbology or anything on your FCR.
In that mode, it turns off the radar, correct?
So if you TMS down once, it'll turn off the radar. Well, if you locked onto something, TMS down, it'll just unlock. It'll debug your target. It'll unlock it. And if you TMS down again, that's when it turns off your radar, which is really good. I'll go over it later, but it's really good for if you're in a dogfight and it's a human. If it's a AI, it doesn't matter. So if there's a human, you turn off your radar, they can't see you on the RWR, so they're lost. So if they lose visual of you, they lost complete visual of you. They can't even use their RWR for a azimuth direction. So turning off your radar is good. As long as you have visual, you can turn off your radar, and you'll be able to be more, I guess, stealthy in a radar emission sense. But I'll definitely go over that later on in the ground school. I have a bullet point for that. So that's this sub mode.
Cool.
Remember, it's only 10 miles. Going to the 10 degrees by 60 degrees. So it's a vertical column, basically. So this is used, this sub mode, 10 by 60 column, is usually for high G situations. So if you're in a high G, the radar will be able to see above you and in front of you, so off your nose. So basically, if you have your head-mounted display, so this is having a head-mounted display without having a head-mounted display. Since it's seeing this far above you, it could see into your turn, so it's pulling lead into your turn. So if you're trying to pull on somebody and you go into this mode, it'll probably lock onto them automatically because they're within that 60 degree cone and in your plane of motion. So this will be, if you're in one of those blocks that don't have a head-mounted display, you can probably put it in this mode, and it'll get you the same outcome for locking onto them early. Basically it for this one. So it's just high G. If you're in a dogfight, turning around really hard, need some vertical coverage. Going to the 1060 sub mode here.
Yeah, and all you have to do is just TMS up.
It should do it automatically. Should automatically lock. Well, to change to it, yes. To change to it, TMS up pretty sure.
Yeah, I've done that before, and it works really well.
Yeah, it's either TMS up or it might be cursor enable. I think it might be cursor enable. You press cursor enable, it'll switch between the modes. 4 sections represented by the all have in common. It might be cursor. We'll definitely try it out in there. Designates target, bug in target, TWS, TWS. Yeah, we'll have to see in there. Oh, first activation drop bug target, selects SAM STT, and ACM rejects locks target and commands 3020 no rad. Second activation drops bug, ACM selects rad. Yes, it goes back and forth. I'll have to see. It's either TMS or the cursor switch, cursor enable. Slewable submode. So this is basically the same thing as Boresight mode, except your Boresight does not move with your head, and you are able to move your, I guess your radar emissions in a direction for like a favorable direction. So if they're below you and to the right, you could move using your cursor. There's a little diamond here. You can move that over to below you and to the right, so it'll lock on to something over there rather than something over here. So it's like a cursor version of a head-mounted display.
I guess the HUD automatically becomes soy in this case.
Yes. Yep. Automatically comes soy, and you're able to move around. I think it moves around in here because your FCR is soy, but it moves your cursor around on your FCR, but it also moves it on the HUD. It's just mirroring what the
Gotcha.
FCR says. And it's a 60-degree wide. So if you're looking for somebody wide, not really too much high because it's only 20 degrees. So it's a wide view from the radar. You can go slew it back and forth, and also has the distances and the heights, the elevations. So make sure you have the elevations right as well. And yep, the switching ACM commands Boresight. So that's up. That's the Boresight mode with the head-mounted display. You go to the right, ACM commands 30 to 20. So that's this one. So you go right, it commands this, and then down rejects the target lock, and it goes to 3020 no rad, which is no radar. So you go into silent mode, and you click it again, it goes to 3020 no rad or selects 1060 rad. So it's a combination between TMS up, left, or up, right, and down to cycle between your different modes here. Going to move on to AIM 9 theory. I'll go back to basic employment.
Quick question here, Prime.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any way to force it to scan more than 10 miles out?
No. So when
All
you're
right.
as long as you're in dogfight mode, it won't go farther out.
Got it. All right. I think the Hornet can do it with some modes, but not
Interesting.
Viper, I guess.
Because yeah, if you're stuck in dogfight mode, I've seen it done with other people. So they're stuck in dogfight mode, and they're like, I can't slew my radar, and it's like, are you in dogfight mode? It's like, yes. It's like, okay, because it's not going to go anywhere farther than 10 miles.
That's good to know. Yeah.
And it'll give you that empty HUD. If you're in dogfight, it'll just be empty. Like, so where's everything? And you'll just know that you're in dogfight mode of one of these submodes. So the AIM 9, pretty sure everybody's familiar with it, but the defensive maneuvers for AIM 9 is first slap or put your engine to idle, brake, and brake in a direction. Mostly it depends on the situation, but brake away from the plane of motion of the missile, and also flare at least 3 times. So when you're doing that, you're basically, of course, you're decoying the missile to see your flares instead of your hot engines. That's why you go to idle. And basically, you do all of those at the same time, or roughly close to the same time. So the brake, idle, and flare all at the same time, pretty much simultaneously. And the WES of the AIM 9 is obviously you may or may not hear a lock if they're trying to lock onto you, because it's easier to have a lock than it is to go into there's a Boresight mode for your AIM 9. You'll have your radar off. You'll just use the sensor of the AIM 9 to slew it over and lock onto someone that has no radar involved at all. And I'll go over that as well. But to be able to see the AIM-9 launch, you'll have to be visual of the bandit behind you. Having visual of the bandit behind you would take, I mean, if we were in a real plane, you would see all of this. Make sure you're looking behind you. But basically, if you're looking at your bandit and you'll see a launch from them physically, and then you see the trail actually take lead. So when it's taking lead, that means it's locking onto you and it's tracking you. It takes lead when it comes to AIM-9 missiles. So as it's taking lead of you, you'll see it kind of pause in the canopy. It'll just kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger. So once you see it kind of stationary in the canopy, it's locking onto you. And that's when you would do the maneuver. You would do your idle, flare, and brake at the same time. So when you know it's missed you, it would obviously not take lead anymore, and it would kind of go behind you, above you, below you. It just won't. It'll start moving in the canopy, and that's that you know that you've defeated the missile, and you can continue defending the bandit or try to get ahead of them or behind them or something. So you live to live another day, basically. If you're unable to look behind you, like if you're 10 feet off the ground maneuvering and you're unable to look behind you, it's good to every now and then maybe pop off a flare or something. You might as well pop off a flare. Either you're going to die popping off flares or you're going to die not popping off flares. So you just might as well pop off some flares and you're on the ground trying to defend and not hit the ground at the same time. It depends on what missile it is, but when it comes to missiles, they usually pull lead first. The aircraft pulls lead and it loses a lot of speed. So you would have to kind of capitalize on that shot. So you would either dive down, or depending if they have any missiles, you would any other missiles left, you would either extend because they don't have the speed yet, and then kind of turn around. Just all depends on the situation at hand to capitalize on the attack from your bandit behind you. During and before the merge. So before the merge, you're obviously trying to back to this. So before the merge here, you need to learn a couple things. So the first thing is to know how many bandits are there before you merge. So if is there 1, is there 2, is there 5, is there 10? You need to know how many is in front of you. You need to know what type it is, what ordnance does the adversary have, the speed of your adversary, and the altitude. So if the speed is higher, the altitude is higher, then you're already at a disadvantage. But I'll go into 1 circle and 2 circle fights depending on if you're slower or faster. So before you merge and you're able to increase the range between you and the bandit, let's go to reference my Google Doodle thing. All right, so with the Google, I will be drawing what it means to kind of give range from your bandit. So you're both coming in like this. You're about to merge. So if your bandit does nothing, your bandit continues going straight, and you continue going straight, you'll both merge right here, and it'll be either a 1 circle or a 2 circle, whatever. So what you can do is the bandit comes this way, you come over here, and instead of continuing and meeting the merge right here, you would kind of go off a little bit right there. So the reason why you would kind of off your angle a little bit, so once the bandit's coming here, you keep getting the distance, and if your bandit does nothing, which is not very likely going to happen, you're able to turn in early to get that the angle quicker around on the bandit and basically get right behind him or get early on him and be able to increase that distance between two of you. So it all automatically puts you at an advantage because you have a better angle to get behind your adversary, rather than just straight and merge in the middle. So if you do try to do that off angle, about 100% of the time your bandit's going to just do the same thing. So you'll both be doing like this, and it's just neutral. So there's no advantage for anybody. You're both pretty much neutral when it comes to that, and there'll be a merge right here. And I would recommend probably depending on your speed, 1 circle, because you're both kind of close, and depending on what armory you have and missiles that you have and everything, it all depends on a whole bunch of things. So your plane of, or your lift vector. So your lift vector is basically this green arrow. So that's the amount of, I guess, your G's, the G direction. So as you're turning, your lift vector is right here. You always want to put your lift vector on the bandit. So if the bandit's coming this way, and you put your lift vector up, you're not really making any angle difficulties for your bandit. You'll just be going up and they'll just follow you. But if you turn into him and you put your arrow straight on the bandit, you'll be creating that geometrical difficulty for them to have to do the same thing and turn towards you. So you always want to have the arrow pointing towards your bandit to have the best effect on giving them geometrical difficulties. Any questions, concerns? Pretty much makes sense just about.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the calculations.
Yeah, don't worry too much about this stuff, but I just like this picture because it shows where the lift vector is. So as you're turning and your bandit goes up, if you turn like this aircraft right here, you're not really making the most out of your turn. But the reason why you wouldn't turn up as well is either if you are slow, there's no reason to go up if you're slow. The bandit has speed, and they would go up to lose that speed and get an advantage of you vertically, but you already have a disadvantage because you're going too slow, so you're not going to follow them going up. So at that point, you would just kind of either have a slight nose down to gain some speed, or just have a gentle or a level turn to the left or the right to get them to come back down and come fight. In a downward scissors, I'll go to this right here. So if you're in downward scissors, so you both merge. This is a side view. So if you both merge right here, and some reason you're always going to be going in the downward scissors. So you're going downward scissors, and you'll just end up at the floor. So a good thing to do is to put your plane of motion just above the other bandit. So if you're going down like this, you're going like that down like this. So if you keep your plane of motion basically not lose as much speed as your or lose as much altitude as your bandit, so kind of decrease your downward angle, you'll be able to, number one, slow down because whoever's faster will end up lower than the other bandit, and it'll be in front of the other person. So you can put your lift vector in front of your bandit to kind of slow down your descent. And as you're going down, each person's trying to get behind the other person, so it'll just be a constant battle back and forth. But if you don't put your lift vector behind the bandit or not descend as fast, you'll just end up in front and it'll be over. So just keep that in mind when you're in a downward scissors going down. Just decrease your descent.
Hey, Prom, was that lift vector to the front or behind to slow down the descent?
Behind. So you put your lift vector behind your adversary. So basically you would level out, not level out, but you would have less bank and try to lose altitude slower than your adversary. You wouldn't corkscrew as much downward because whoever's going faster is going to end up in front. So 415 is 3 ways to pursuit course. So there's lead, there's pure, and there's lag. So Roadie, what would be a reason why you would want to lead your target? You're in a turn, and tell me some of the reason why you would want to lead your target.
If you're going to lead the target has to be in front of you.
Yeah, but what are you trying to set up for when you're leading the target?
It would be a nice gunshot.
Yep, that's right. So the only reason why you would lead is if I guess you could do it if you're going a little too fast, but there's always that option of losing sight and then going in front, and then you're screwed. So the logical reason why you would lead is to either get a shot off, either a gun or a missile. So there's the two reasons why you would lead. Pure would kind of be, it's like in the middle of lag and lead, so you can get a shot off when it comes to a missile, but obviously guns, you're not going to be able to get anything. So pure would be used basically for like control. So if you want to kind of control the situation and not lose speed, because once you pull lead, you're going to be losing speed like crazy. So you don't want to lose that much speed. So if you want to be in pure, you're probably getting ready for a lead shot, and you're kind of just in that control zone when it comes to getting ready for a shot.
for me, if you're in pure, you're getting ready for the shot, but you still, if you fire a missile, a heater,
Yeah.
it all depends on the range.
And the amount of G's everyone's pulling.
Exactly, because he's gonna defeat the missile.
Yep. So pure is kind of like a transitional phase between lag and lead to control your speed. So if you're in lead and you're losing all the speed, you can go back to pure to either maintain or gain a little bit of speed. But when it comes to lag, so lag is the zone where you're at to control the situation. So I see a lot of people in like videos and stuff. They're always like trying to take lead, and they're going like 90 knots. So when you're in a dogfight, in the first or second merge, you don't always have to pull lead, depending on the other person's speed. If you're going like super slow, you probably want to pull lag so you can gain speed, also turning at the same time. So if you're in lag, you're in that control zone, which I'll show you here in a little bit. The deep lag.
I did see a photo of a lag, and basically it's having your bandit on top of your HUD.
Yes, so it's well above your HUD to
Exactly.
see the bandit on you. So deep lag is used for if you need to gain speed and you have control of the situation. So the bandits, however far out, there's not really a threat to him getting behind you. So you just kind of control the situation and putting the bandit about a HUD space above the HUD, or angled up from you. So this is a good place to do deep lag.
It.
So you're just kind of chilling there, waiting for them to make a mistake, waiting for them to freak out. You're in real control when it's like a choke lock if you're right here, and you have to make sure that they're not getting closer if they're not getting not slowing down, getting closer, because once they get closer, that increases the chances of them either reversing a turn or braking hard and you losing visual. So this is a good lag. So if you're super slow, you don't have to you don't have to crank your stick over here because you're just going to stall and depart controlled flight. So you can just put them in lag and just kind of control the situation, gain your speed, gain your bearings, and control the situation without you having to stall. And for the most part, I'm pretty sure everybody's seeing it. So you'll be in this perpetual circle turn, and you'll just both be in that deep lag area, and it'll be going on forever. And that will definitely happen, especially if you're in the same type of aircraft, which is usually an F-16 on both sides.
Yeah, but if you're in that situation, it's a matter of feel.
Yeah, exactly. I want to take the moment to look at this chart. Pretty sure some of you have seen it before. Oh, hey, Prom Date, welcome. So this chart is very important because basically it shows you how fast you can go and how much G's you can pull, and it'll decipher if you'll gain speed or lose speed. All of this is an afterburner. So for example, let's go to 375. So you're going 375 knots, 0.73 Mach, and let's move over here. You want to pull 5 Gs. So if you're going 375, pull 5 Gs, yeah, your turn rate will be 11 degrees per second. Your turn radius will be 3,800 feet. So, Debug, do you know the difference between turn rate and turn radius?
Yes, I do. One is in simplistic terms, it's the change of degrees per second in your HUD, and the other one is the radius of the plane of motion.
Yes. Yep. Exactly right. So your rate of turn is 11 degrees per second, and the amount of actual physical space or distance will take for you to turn around will be 3,800 feet.
I'm glad you didn't ask me that third one. I have no idea.
Oh, the third one? So, Roadie, do you know what this third one means?
That means that you're +5. Jesus, last time I saw this was a long time with you.
Oh, okay. Look at the top, Roadie.
Yep, energy bleed.
So with this being a +5, you'll be gaining 5 knots. I'm guessing per second.
Yep.
Yeah. So per second, in theory, you'd be gaining speed, going 5 Gs at 375 knots. So let's move on over here to the extreme. So you're going 400 knots. You want to pull 9 Gs for some reason. So your rate is incredible, 19 degrees per second, and your radius is 2,500 feet, which it's wonderful. It's great, but you only could last that probably 10 seconds because you're losing 44 knots per second. So you'll be at 0 by the time you finish this maneuver in 10 seconds. So this all depends on where you are and how much you could pull when it comes to getting it that first turn fight or the first merge. And in here it does say that the corner rate is between, I believe it's 440 and 330, or 440 and 340. So between those two, it's about here and here. So if you look at where you could gain speed, about 5 Gs, 6 Gs, about between 4 and 6 Gs you could still pull at your turn corner rate, which is your best corner speed, and still gain speed or maintain speed. So if you're going at 400 knots, 13 degrees per second, 3,500 feet radius, and you'll just maintain, you can just chill there forever in theory, which is a pretty good turn rate and turn radius.
Exactly. Just keep it between 350 and 450.
Yeah. And
so looking at this, if you're too fast, would you recommend pulling hard at first and slow down to your corner speed and then try to maintain that with the Gs?
So it depends on how fast your bandit's going. If there's two extremes, if you're going 500 knots and your bandit's for some reason going 325, I would probably go up. So if you go up, you have your bandit's not going to be able to follow you at all. And as long as you could keep visual, the only thing about going up is that you might lose visual because it's against the ground. So if you go up, and I'll go over, I think it's called the barrel roll maneuver, where if you're going about 50 to 100 knots faster than your bandit, you can kind of do a yo-yo upwards to lose that speed and to travel farther, and you'll yo-yo back down, you'll still end up behind your bandit. But for the most part, if you have too much speed, climb, and obviously keep visual of your adversary, try to come back down on them and kind of get the same speed back and forth so you could turn.
At least you get the started energy if you go up, right? If you just bleed it out, it's gone. Right?
Yep, it's gone. So you bled it out, but you still have that potential energy, and your bandit, for the most part, shouldn't follow you, but I think the AIs always follow you. They'll let us stall out, and you'll just come up behind them. But if it's a human, I know I don't. If you just go up because you're going Mach 1.5 and emerge for some reason, I'm just going to watch you because it's easy to see someone going upwards, looking up. So I'm just going to chill 2,000 feet below you and wait for you to come back down. And when it comes to slower, let's look at the lowest turn radiuses, turn radii. There's 2.2. That might be the lowest. The best turn radius speed is 325, going 7 Gs. But you'll lose a whole bunch of speed in that first turn. So this will give you probably enough to get your nose around and shoot off a missile. And we'll go over the differences between 1 circle and 2 circle depending on your speed.
Do you recommend at least some partial memorization of this table?
So you don't have to completely memorize it. I would probably recommend memorizing the middle, like the 0, the +5s, the -5, like the very small maintain ability area, and it's kind of say 375, 6 Gs, 400, 5 Gs, kind of like that kind of stuff. But in the moment, you just have to look at your speed. So you're pulling Gs, and your speed is going down like your altimeter in a nosedive. So you obviously need to pull back on the Gs because you need to stop it. So you just kind of release the stick a little bit to gain a little bit of speed, and you'll notice it a lot once you look at your speed. You'll be going 400 knots, and you'll be pulling 7 Gs, and you'll still be climbing. It just feels weird when you're looking at it and actually seeing it happening. Like, why am I pulling 7 Gs and still gaining altitude? It's very strange.
What you do is just try to keep it in that window between 350 and 450.
Yeah, for the most part, in a nutshell.
And from what I can see from here, you can bleed the speed real fast, but the gain on the left side of the table is not that fast, right? You can gain with like 15 per second, while you can lose with 35.
Yep, exactly.
Well, that's while you're pulling too. So, I mean, if you let off, right, and you're not pulling on the stick, you'll pick up speed really fast in a Slick Viper.
Yeah, in a slick one, yep, of course. And then there's this trick I noticed. Let's see where, I don't know if I could find the actual listing of it, but basically, if so you're pulling Gs, right? You're pulling 7 Gs, and then you release the stick or you relieve the
Hey,
stick.
Prime, are you pointing at something? Are you still on the PDF?
Yeah, I'm still in the PDF.
Okay.
And then you kind of release the stick, and your G meter is now 0. So if you get your G meter to 0, so you pulled forward just a tad, and you get your G meter to 0, you'll gain speed like super fast, and especially if you're an afterburner. So you'll kind of just release the stick a little bit, get your G meter to 0 Gs or close to 0 Gs, and you'll gain speed super fast. So if you look on here, so what I use that maneuver for is if you're in a turn fight. So you both came up like this. You're going however many knots per second, and then you merge, and then you go into that. This is a 1 circle, so just be going in circles. What I do sometimes is at those merges, like over here, I would level my wings and set my G meter to 0. So push down a little bit to gain that speed back. You can gain 100 knots in like half a second. Like, it's really crazy. Instead of turning, you could just gain a little bit of speed. You can either get away from the fight, or you could gain altitude, or try to see if you can get around them, or something. You'll just be able to gain your speed really, really quickly.
Wait a second. You said 0 G, like pushing the nose down?
Yes.
Yeah, what you're doing is you're killing your induced drag from lift, right? So at 0 G, you've dropped off all your induced drag. You're super slick at that point. So you just
So you
pick up
become a
airspeed.
ramjet engine, right? Like a rocket.
Yeah, you gain speed ridiculously fast.
Didn't know that. Thank you.
So right on here, it says if altitude is a factor, select afterburner and fly 0.7 to 0.9 Gs and slightly nose low extension maneuver. While gaining airspeed might not be as rapid as 0, but the altitude that you lost will be minimalized because you didn't bear the nose. So usually you gain speed by losing altitude. In this case, you would just basically stop your parasitic drag from lift because you release the wings and you're pushing down a little bit, pulling that 0 G, making your aircraft really, really slick and gaining speed. And I would say it's probably comfortably 50 knots a second when it comes to if you're fast enough. Obviously, if you're 230 knots, it's not going to work. So you have to be at least 300 knots, 350 knots or greater for this maneuver to work effectively. Yeah, parasitic drag between 100 and 450 knots, and then the best acceleration occurs between the range of 300 and 400 knots.
Okay, how many credits do we get?
Credits? Oh, that's at least 3 credits.
Oh,
Cool.
Thank you very much.
I'm basically putting years of training into an hour. Go over some more things here because that's some stuff I want to talk about. I'm just going to go over the next thing, which is the 1 circle and 2 circle fight. We'll be doing some of this stuff in there. Winning cues. Obviously, if they're if they start sliding behind you, then you're starting to lose. If they start sliding in front of you under canopy and you're in a circle fight, then you're starting to win a little bit. That's the most part. So a 2 circle fight, when you're coming in and you merge about here, one guy goes this way, another guy goes this way. That is a 2 circle fight, putting the most distance between the 2 bandits. So a 2 circle fight, you would want if you are faster. If your aircraft is faster by either seeing on the FCR and seeing their speed compared to your speed. If your speed is faster than the other person, a 2 circle fight would be the best thing to do in that case. Because, and especially if you have missiles. If you have missiles, then and the other person does not have missiles, this is too far for them to shoot guns. So, and you have missiles, so that's perfect. So it's not too close because you gave that space between the two of you. And it's far enough to get your nose around and shoot something at your bandit there.
And that's where you use your Boresight.
Yeah.
And
AIM 9X.
AIM 9X, uncage it, and let it fly.
Yep.
Or, assuming you don't have that, right, you can sacrifice, because you've got that missile, you sacrifice your airspeed, right? That's when you pull your 9Gs, you bleed your airspeed for you use that instantaneous turn rate, right? Get your nose on, fire the missile. It doesn't matter that you've bled all your speed because you've got the first shot off. Yeah.
And if they have nothing, then they're not going to be able to do anything because they're too far away for guns and they have no missiles, in a sense. Yeah, you need that better turn rate, so you might as well just pull that 9Gs, get it around quick, and get it over there. So this is the rate fight. So you go into a two-circle here. One person goes this way, the other person goes this way. So the amount of rate, the space between your turn here matters the most. So if you could rate it just a little bit, and you'll be able to get your nose on the target quicker. Because if they're slow, they might be able to turn when it comes to their radius might be lower, but their rate is not lower. So this radius might be this big, but it took them 30 seconds to do this when it took you 5 seconds to do all of this. So it doesn't matter that their radius is really, really small because it took you a faster amount of time to get it around. What it means is if you are faster, this would be the better option for you because they're unable to get their nose around quicker.
Quick question here.
Yes.
Would you say the radius becomes less important because the planes are moving away from each other in this case?
The radius becomes less important because of
I mean, inherently you're creating more space in between
yeah.
the two fighters by doing the two-circle.
I think yes,
Yeah, radius
because of the space.
in a two-circle radius is completely. I mean, it's almost completely unimportant because all you care about is getting around around that circle. You don't
Getting
care
those around, okay.
the size of the circle. You just want to get around the circle.
Yep.
Because no matter what, you won't be inside his circle, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you're both going the same speed, or roughly the same speed, and you just might be going a little bit faster, this person goes this way, he's going slower, and then you are going quicker, and you did this in the exact same amount of time, you're still more angled toward them than they are. So the amount of time it took you to do all this matters more than how far you actually went.
Got it, thank you.
And then the one circle fight is the radius fight. That's the one that matters. So the one circle, both coming in, one person goes this way, and the other person comes the exact same way. So in a perfect world, you'll both meet up right here and merge again. And then down here, this is the one you want to be when you're slower. So optimum starting point if you're 12 o'clock and low. You want if you're slower. I'll show you a picture of what it looks like here. It's probably not going to happen because the other person knows that that's the best place to be. And if you're slower than your opponent, you would want to try to force a one circle fight. So if your opponent's faster, it would be better for you to know which direction they're turning so you know how to force that one circle fight. So your opponent's going 400 something knots and you're going do 300 knots. So you turn, you should be underneath. So this is a side view. So your opponent's up here. Your opponent's up here going fast. You want to be below them so you can see which way they turn. That's the optimal location to be, so you can see which way they turn. And you wanting the one circle fight because you're going slower is you want that one circle fight. So he turns to his right. You want to turn to your left. So he's going super fast. So he's screaming. He does all of this in like a however many seconds, but you're able to get that radius down. So your radius is here, so you're still behind him. You're right behind him. So you can just turn back around and this exact same radius go back and forth and be right behind him. The same distance it did for them. That's why the radius is important on a one circle fight. So right here you care about your distance, not how long it takes, because you could be super fast, but your radius will be way out here if you're going super fast, and that doesn't matter because this guy's slower than you. So you just kind of killed yourself. That's why in a slower fight, if you're going slower than your opponent, you would want a one circle fight for the most part. And then you would merge again. And if you're going slower, which is probably you are because you just did a turn, and usually how physics work, you usually slow down, you may want to reverse your turn depending on the distance of your bandit. So you have the option, better option than the two circle fight. So you're the slower out of the two. So you kind of get in on that radius there, and your bandit's over here. So if you keep going around, there was no reason for you to keep going. You should have reversed and come back, because they're going to try to turn this way, and then you could just continue going that way. So you just have to always look at your opponent and see what they're doing, so you know when to reverse that turn, because they'll be trying to compensate with you behind them. And I'm going to continue this fight right here. So instead of turning around like this when the other person's trying to get around, and you'll just be going around, you just kind of cucked yourself now that he's behind you. And I'm going to continue on that. That's why you would reverse that turn as you're coming in. They're trying to still turn around, but you have that radius, so you'll radii in on their radius, and it'll just be right behind them in a better position. You might not be in shooting position, but you're not in front of them. That's the whole deal.
Yeah, at that point, you're gonna lag.
Yeah, you'll probably just lag and kind of control the situation. This has a lot of stuff in here. Pretty much it. Term limited, adversary limitation. So power limit, enforce 2 circle fight. Term limitation, 1 circle or 2 circle. 2 circle would work. 2 circle quicker with IR missiles, because if you have missiles, then it'll be faster because you're at that 2 circle distance. Equal adversary, so there's not really a 1 circle or 2 circle, because you're both exactly the same. So what I always say is that whoever makes the fewest gross mistakes always comes out on top. So you're basically trying to make a mistake if you're both at the same aircraft, and you have to use the aircraft to the limits to gain the advantage. And yeah, that's about it for that. Oh wow, 5 minutes to spare. But any questions? Any reattacks you want to go over on here? I know it's a lot of information. That's usually days of stuff. Put my arm switch on, so you can see how fast he's going right there. He's going 480 and climbing super fast. So I'm just gonna see if I can induce a 1 circle fight. So the best area to be in to get to a 1 circle is below them, so you can kind of see which way they go. So he's in a inverted now, so he's speed breaks out, doesn't know what the heck is going on. So let's look at his speed here. If I could do the same thing, I'm just going to do this, see which way he goes. Seems like he went this way. Oh, he went up. Nice. So he goes up. So I didn't go up because I didn't have the speed for it, so I'm just going to chill down here and wait for him to come back down. And then once he comes back down...
He's coming behind him, right? You don't pull low in front of him.
Yeah, I'm kind of going upwards because I got that speed back. Now I'm just coming behind him, and now I can just go into lag because there's not really a threat right now. Jesus Christ, where'd he go? My track hour went all weird. There he is. So now we're just in a kind of like a diagonal yo-yo. I'll just gain some speed here because we're not really getting anywhere. I know he's going slow, so I'm gonna gain some speed.
Right.
If not,
prime slow so he can keep that level turn.
Not try to maintain the speed, so I'm pulling 5 Gs and maintaining 330. The pain actually disappears after a little bit. But now he's not. Jesus. Now he's not turning as fast as he should be. Now I'm kind of getting behind him. So right now, be good for a missile shot right there. But since I only have guns, there's not really anything I could do. So I'm just gaining speed right here, and I'm just going to pull up. Kind of get up back behind him. And I could lose this speed, but I'm getting my nose around really quick. And being that I'm high, I can gain that speed almost back. If I would like. high yo-yo thing.
Altitude.
That needs to stop.
It's like you're flying against a phantom.
I know, right? Keeps going back and forth.
Why don't you do? Why
What was that?
I think
why
you.
don't you lock them up with your?
I mean, I can, but I have no missiles. I don't have anything. It's just
Yeah, it
guns
doesn't do
only.
any good.
So I'm just gonna try to get pure pursuit a little bit. Oh, you reverse. That's a mistake. You do not want to reverse like, cause look at this. I'm right behind him now. He might be a little faster than me, going 350. But yeah, he's gonna go up. So I'm just gonna kind of turn back in the other direction to keep my speed while he comes back down. Not gonna follow him because that would be dumb. So now we're back. So we kind of so it's a 2 circle now. So he's gonna go down. So I'm gonna keep my nose high so I don't go down with him. And now we're gonna merge here. What's his speed? 310. So we're going the same speed. Gonna continue this turn around. Probably just gonna turn and merge again. Losing too much speed.
Lock.
Now we're head on. That's dangerous in when it comes to real life, but in a virtual sense it doesn't really matter.
That was nice.
I kind of used my rudder a little bit on that too, kind of sliced it around him.
That was a nice shot.
And then with the symbology there, you see the plus sign and the circle in the middle and then the line kind of right there. When I pull more G's you can see it better. But basically the plus sign is low G's. You're both pulling low G's, and the line at the bottom, the vertical line or the horizontal line, is what you want to basically high G maneuver. Trying to see if you can pull more G's here. Eh. Now you're trying to slow down. So he did that little stomp the brakes on me there. Now I'm super slow.
Warning. Warning. Warning.
So I'm going to go off this way since he's slow.
Lock. Bingo. Bingo.
So if you're in the defensive position like this, what you need to do is like jink in every direction that you can to kind of keep them from getting a shot on you. So once you see them trying to pull lead and get their nose on you, you need to jink, and that's usually when you start seeing bullets and they'll go right past you because you jinked in another direction. I'm gonna go over this one more time, or go through it one more time, and then we'll start having people join in. It's gonna be the same thing. I hope he doesn't go up this time. So his speed is 420. He's still going to be probably diving down to the deck. So I'm still trying to see if I can do the one circle fight here, because I'm slower than him by only 20 knots or so. So he dives down. So just go straight up. So what you can do here is kind of go, like you can pull as hard as you can downwards. See how I'm pulling 8 Gs and keeping my 400 knots? So I'm basically in the other direction, waiting for him to come back down. And what you can do is start turning, going up towards him. Once you see him kind of stalling, maybe. And once you go up towards them, you got the speed, and he's super slow. I don't know why he didn't put his nose back down.
Lock.
Might have lost you.
Probably. And then now he's going 220 knots. I have about 70 knots on him, so this is perfect for a missile shot. Not really for a gunshot, because it's super high aspect. And now I'm nosing down. I could basically pull as much Gs as I want if I was an afterburner. Using the Gs to your advantage. See, now that I'm slow, I'm not going to climb up with him. I'm kind of gaining some speed here, so once he noses down, I could kind of nose back up to get behind him. And I'm pretty sure he's going to keep going down, so I'm going to angle off this way and follow him down, putting me back behind him.
Lock.
And now we're in a downwards scissors, so I'm going to try to keep my vector above him. See how he just went in front of me right there? So now I have the advantage. And in this moment, in the defensive position, you would be trying to jink, trying to get visual of me. You would hopefully not see me try to take lead, because once I start taking lead, you see the bottom of my aircraft. That's meaning that I'm going to start shooting. See, you jinked right there, so that was good. I was about to start shooting there. Now he's starting to go a little slow. I'm noticing that because he's getting closer. And then you just kind of get one off. Whoa. So he's jinking back and forth. Which is good. Get something off. Oh, miss it there. You either wait for him to get into your reticle, or you can pull your reticle toward him. But usually you would make a wall of bullets in front of the aircraft. So you'll pull lead, and you would start shooting, and then you would ease off the stick to kind of bring the wall of bullets towards them. Let's see. Do it one more time since it's 3. So I'm gonna, just for science, I'm gonna go up with him, see how this works. I'm gonna get the same speed. If you're gonna go up with them, you better have the same amount of speed, if not more. And as I said with the try to offset, so if I try to offset here, he's just gonna follow me. Yep. Speed breaks out like a weirdo. And you are able to turn a little sooner, but you're still both in the same position. And I could go back down, reverse the turn, go in the other direction, and he just goes kind of straight, basically. Lost too much speed there. Gonna pull back on the stick to gain or maintain that speed while still turning.
Lock.
So he's climbing. He's going 130 knots, so he's basically in a stall. So I could just go up. And just for science, I'm going to stall with them. So this is something you don't want to do. It's like, oh no, I'm stalling. So now you might either lose control of flight or lose him completely. But good thing I didn't tip stall, so I was able to keep eyes on him the entire time.
Lock.
See how hard it is to see him going nose down?
Lock.
Exactly, because of terrain.
Yeah, because of the terrain and stuff. gonna gain some speed and show the 0G gaining speed maneuver once I get somewhat behind him. So here I'm turning at 3 Gs. You can put your at 0 Gs and you'll just gain speed. See how fast my speed is going? I'm already at 300 knots. But if you do it at the wrong time, you'll have that losing cue where they kind of come up behind your 3-9 line and get up behind you. So I would only do that during a merge, like probably about this. So to turn, I would reverse the turn, but I would also try to gain a little speed as well. In a quicker sense on that amount of time it took me to do that was a little slower, so I could show you. But to gain a little speed and you could turn a little bit quicker, lower your rate temporarily.
Altitude.
If you're able to gain that
Altitude.
speed. Oh, super high. So now he's probably super slow. So I could pull it around.
Locked.
High aspect again. Oh, he got me on that one.
Warning.
Both hit each other.
Get him
Warning.
too.
Warning. Caution.
So the high aspect shots are dangerous, but if you can get a shot off, then by all means go for it. But you might hit each other. So just keep going straight, and I'll end up behind you, and I'll call fights on when it comes to our defensive. So right now, Prom Date will be defensive, and I'll have him try to dodge me. So let's keep going straight. Prom Date. I'm gonna show the offset here. So if for some reason your bandit doesn't want to offset with you, they continue going straight. You're able to offset the angle between the two of you. You kind of get that spacing, so you can actually start your turn early before you actually merge. I'm gonna offset 8 miles off now. I'm gonna continue to offset, and about 45 degrees you could technically start your turn. It's 54 degrees, so I'm starting my turn now. It's the intercept, not really a dogfighting maneuver, but if it's like a bomber or something, it's good to do this. And then now you're behind your bandit. Because if you were close, if you merged like 100 feet away, you're unable to do that maneuver because you're so close. You would end up on the other side over there from that turn. All right.
Locked.
So if you did not know that F right there, let's go back. That F is your distance. So right now I'm 1.1 nautical miles away. And it actually goes in the feet once it gets below 1,000 or 1.1 nautical miles. So Prom Date, your speed is 420. Go ahead and go to 350. Slow down to 350, and I'm going to get 3,000 feet behind you. Go into a perch. So this is what, in real life, they actually put you in the situation, so it'll be easier for you to recognize the cues. So right now I'm at 5,500 feet. Getting down lower, going to go to 3,000 feet. Alright, Prom Date, go ahead and go into a shallow left-hand turn. So right here about 30 degrees, 31 feet away. So just keep that turn, and right now it'll be fights on. Alright, Prom Date, so do whatever you can to get visual of me. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Give me a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, so right now it says deep lag. So I'm just kind of deep lag on them. Kind of controlling the situation. There's no need to pull lead. No need to go pure pursuit. kind of control the situation here. Put around on him. You can see his burner, so he's trying to gain some speed now. Seems like he's starting to slow down, so I'm gonna go up to lose that speed. Kind of staying behind him. Yeah, do whatever you have to do to lose me there.
Altitude.
I won't shoot. I'll just doing a defensive exercise. Like, kind of see how hard it is. If they don't want to shoot, they could just stay behind you for pretty much forever. So if they're close, so let me get closer up to prom date here. If they're close, it's easier to reverse your turn. So I'm gonna get closer here. 3,800 feet. If I can get super close. So usually within 3,000 feet is acceptable to reverse your turn, because I'm trying to get a lock here. I'm trying to get my pipper on him, but he's unable to get it on him real quick because he keeps reversing his turn. And then now prom date try to go in one direction and just keep that one direction. Let's go into a right hand turn and just continue that right hand turn. So right here I could literally just get up and he's dead. So it's always good to keep going back and forth when it comes to going around. Alright, prom date here, reverse your turn. So he reverses his turn. It takes me a little bit to go in the other direction. And I might pull more Gs, I might pull less Gs. You're just trying to get the other person to make more mistakes. That's basically because we're both in the same aircraft here. Alright, so the person is behind him, trying to get a lock, trying to get that pipper on him. Super focused, and prom date you would probably try to start bringing your idle or your engine back, and then boom, you're in front now. And it's like, holy poop, how did I miss that? Because you were so focused on shooting, you were unable to notice that he was getting closer and closer and actually hitting the brakes. So especially when you're really close like that, like 1,000 feet, it's good to start slowly bringing back your throttle to get them to forget that they're fighting against someone else. Let's see, where'd he go? No joy.
Right behind you.
Okay, cool. So right now, when I see, I guess 3,300 feet, that's like half a mile, maybe 0.6 miles. I'll go into a slight bank, and then I'll call fights on, and then we'll do the same thing, but you'll be the offensive side.
Okay, cool.
And so don't shoot, just try to see if you can stay behind me, and we'll do fights on from there. So that's 0.7. I'm gonna go into a slight left turn here. Got visual of you, and once I get about 30 degrees off, so about there, fights on. So he's just kind of lag. You see how the nose is behind me, so that's lag right there. Now he's kind of pull. That's about pure, about right there. Then once you start seeing the intake and the bottom of his belly, then that's lead, and that's when he's probably going to start shooting. So about, he's not on me, but that would be lead in that sense. So being that he's on this side, I could reverse the turn the other direction and give him issues. So see how high aspect he is behind me? So the higher the aspect of the person behind you, the more likely you're able to reverse that turn. See how he's low aspect on me, and if I reverse the turn, it doesn't really do much because he's just right there on me. I'm just gonna gain speed here, some more speed. All right, so try to line up for a shot here. Just kind of pull that lead. So see how you see his intake there? That's a nice shot for a gunshot. So you need to see that and like jink in a direction. Doesn't matter what it is. Just go in a direction to get him off and create that that geometrical issues. So he's lead again. That's a good shot right there. So he's still lead. You can see off of the vapors as well. Right now he's super close. He's pretty close to me, so I'm gonna back off on my throttle a little bit. And if he's super focused on his guns, then he'll forget and slowly get in front of you. But if they're good, they'll notice it and they won't do it. So if there's someone behind you, it's
Altitude.
actually pretty hard to get away from them. The only thing you can do is probably force them into a slow fight, and then you have the opportunity to get away, possibly. But if they're behind you, it's just going to be kind of hard to get away from them, especially if they're the same aircraft. I'm going to go into burner here, and we're both going to go into a turn fight. Prom date, go ahead and go lag pursuit.
Gotcha.
Alright, and fight's on. So now we're at a more neutral. He's a little bit behind my 9 line. But just going to go a little bit more neutral since we're in a down. So I'm going to try to see if I can pull my lift vector above him to get him below me. Paying attention to my speed, paying attention to my altitude. Slowly getting it around. Actually lost a little bit too much speed there. See how high aspect he is? So I have the option to turn back. You kind of change it up a little bit. We were roughly in the same spot, but going in a different direction. Alright, terminate. Let's reset back up. Enough fuel, probably for one more round. Alright, so this time we're going to go into a 1 mile, or a 9,000 foot perch. So it'll be about 1.7 miles or so for a 9,000 foot. So I'll have you pass me in front of. I'll have you pass in front of me, and then we'll do the offensive, or offensive for me and defensive for you.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want to get some altitude?
Yeah, we're climbing up right now. We're gonna go to 15,000. All right, it's 1.4, 1.5. It's 1.6. So go into a right bank, and I'll let you know if fight's on. And fight's on. So get visual. Try to see if you can change the turns. Cool. See, I'm just on a lag. There's no reason for me to pull lead here. Got plenty of speed. I'm pretty sure he's losing speed.
Bingo. Bingo.
We reverse the turn. It's probably not the best idea. I'm gonna stand behind him here and lag. So that was a good time to reverse because I'm high aspect of you. Yeah, as I'm getting closer, the opportunity to reverse gets more and more prominent. So I'm gonna go off over here, and he reverses, and see how high aspect I am of him. My aircraft is basically 90 degrees, and he reversed, and now he's way over there. And he's probably slowing down as well, so now he's behind me. So that was very good. So he gets behind me, kind of pulling lead there. I know he's losing speed. And I could see if I can pull around. My speed is about 400 knots. So this is how you can use the maximum limitation of the aircraft, depending on when your virtual pilot's going to go to sleep. Be on that 400 knots, so you could put back down the stick, and it'll bring you back up to 500 knots. But I did that, and it slowed down my turn. Now I lost visual. I'm trying to get a visual here. I'm looking at my RWR to see if he pops up anywhere. Already turned it off by now. So you can just look behind you and see if you see him. So he is behind me. Might be above me. Yeah, once you lose visual, you basically lost. Alright, location. Oh, I see you. That's a lead turn, so you want to change your plane because that was a good lead turn on that. See how hard it is to see him in the terrain. And if you're in the defensive, you could do basically anything you want
Altitude.
because you're just trying to live.
Altitude.
See how I just bled off all my speed? I know he was going somewhat fast, and now I could pull up behind him. And just like that, it changed.
Lock.
So it depends on a lot of things. If you know your opponent's going fast and you have the opportunity to basically pull up and stall, then go for it as long as you know that they're going fast, or assume that they're going fast. But yeah, we'll just have some more people in here. Alright, let's see if we can kill each other with 2,000 pounds. Fights on. Guns only. Seems like it'll just be going around in circles. I'm gonna go off, extend this way,
Pull up.
gain
Pull
some
up,
speed.
Pull up. Pull up.
So I see that he's stalling high alpha. I'll
Lock.
come back around. We had the jump on that turn there. We reversed, so I wouldn't recommend that reverse, depending on your speed. Oh.
Lock.
So you see how he's jinking back and forth? He might not have visual of me, but he knows I'm behind him, so he just keeps jinking back and forth. Try not to keep in a turn too long, or else I'll get a shot off. See how hard it is to get him? You probably maybe kind of get it where he should be, the gun sight. Yeah, I was going super fast, got a little distracted off of getting him.
Pull up.
And yep, got me on that one. Very nice, very nice. Alright, yeah, so if you're both heading towards each other, so Roadie, if you could offset to the left a little bit. Actually, now you're pretty close, so just start turning now. Start turning into him now so you can get behind him. Yep, start turning. Start turning into him. Hey, see how now you're behind him now? So that was a good intercept drill there. So now, look at your distance. Make sure you're about 3,300 feet away. So that F number underneath your, on the right side of your HUD has 46 right now. So make that to 33. So kind of gain some speed a little bit. All right, prom date, go into a right-hand turn. Roadie, stay straight. And fight's on. So Roadie, I just want you to stay behind him no matter what. Yeah, no weapons, just stay behind him. Yep, very good. You're in the lag, so you're just kind of chilling there, just controlling the situation. Very good. So yeah, you got him. He got a little slow on you there, so he kind of hit the brakes on you. So you're still controlling it. Oh, nope. Now you lost him.
I lost the fight.
Yeah, all right, level out, and then we'll reset here. Maintain that 5,000. All right, that's good enough. Prom date, left turn. Roadie, keep straight. Fight's on. Yep, very good. Net lag, you're in control. Very good. Watch it, he's getting closer. Watch it. Remember to keep your lift vector on him. Yeah, he's right behind you.
Man, I lost the fight. I lost them really quick.
Yeah, so go ahead and reset again. The 10,000 feet. Make sure you keep visual of prom date. Like you need to not look away. You need to learn how to fly without looking at your HUD, basically. Let's look at him and just climb back up to 10,000. All right, I want you to look at prom date no matter what. So just look straight at him, and fight's on. Because all the information you need is right in front of your speed, your everything you basically need. Yep, loosen up on your stick a little bit there. You're losing too much speed. Go into burner. Go to burner. Did you lose your engine?
No.
Okay, yeah. Keep it in burner.
Warning, 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 warning.
Yep, starting to slow down, so watch it, watch it. Oof. So when you lose visual, like I see your head just like go all over the place. Are you trying to keep your head oriented to what the jet is?
Yeah, I'm trying to keep up with it. And sort of like go into the direction that he's going.
Alright, so Roadie, just want you to get behind prom date again.
Copy that.
And if you offset to the left, you'll be able to get that spacing. That's offset a little bit, and then start turning in. It's bled off all your speed there. Alright, so prom date, go ahead and get into a right-hand turn. And fight's on. So I turn, oh, let's see. Yeah, kick it in. Are you in burner, Roadie?
Copy.
Okay. So instead of going down to gain speed, kind of put your lift vector above him a little bit to stop it from losing so much. All right, here, Roadie. So you're slow. He's probably slow as well. So straighten out your jet to use that zero G's to gain speed. Yeah, up was probably not greatest idea. As long as you can keep visual, it could work out. All right, continue.
Lock.
I see you cheating with that padlock there, Roadie, but we'll get you out of that soon enough.
Yeah, just with the terrain, I can't see him.
Yeah. All right, see if you can get a visual of him. All right, yeah, going towards the ground. All right, go ahead and reset.
2.
Got it.
Debug, are you able to hear us? Are you watching the live stream? He got his green thing is on, but he's not saying anything.
I think he's fired left.
All right, yeah, reset. Roadie, get make sure you're behind Promenade again. We should have visual at least.
Little low, 9 o'clock.
Ready, go ahead and go do a right-hand turn.
That was tougher than I thought.
Lights on. The Roadie, get visual of him. I think he's directly in their blind spot. There you go. You're losing a lot of speed there. So now that he's in front of you, you can reverse, Roadie. Reverse. He's in. Yeah. Alright, both of you level out and get visual. Yeah, continue to level out, so level out.
Level up.
You get back to that trail 3300, and then in that the turn is so that the defensive person can get visual of the offensive person. Alright, reset to 350. His altitude is good. Alright, Roadie, go into a right-hand turn. Like just a bank, not even a turn, just a bank. Now start to get visual. See him? Alright, fight's on. Yes, keep that turn. Try to pull 6 Gs, Roadie. You can probably pull 6 Gs and maintain your speed roughly. So maybe 5 Gs. Make sure you're in burner. You're going up, so that's why you're losing all that speed. You're going straight up. Alright, yeah, continue that. Continue the turn. Alright, now you're behind him. Now stay visual. Or tally in this case. Yeah, I don't know why you did a barrel roll there. Alright, straighten out. Regain tally. Alright, so tally. Continue. So try not to put him on your nose. You just masked him with your own aircraft. Alright, so climb back up, regain visual. Alright, visual or tally, continue. So it's always better to climb over the person so you can regain visual and maintain visual on the merge. Alright, he just passed underneath you, so straighten out. Okay, straighten out and reset. Alright, Roadie, go into a right bank and regain visual. He's on your 6, a little low. 2 miles. I'll probably do a flare.
Chaff, flare.
Alright, once you have tally, fight's on. So it's to your 3 o'clock. Oh, now 12. See him? Fight's on. Alright, you're climbing there, Roadie. Don't climb. You're losing. You just lost all your speed. And tally.
Bingo. Bingo. Lock.
Alright, straighten out, level out.
Lock. Warning, 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 warning.
Alright, now level out.
Warning, 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 warning.
Level out. And climb back up. Alright, Roadie, go ahead and go into a left bank. But it's bank like 30 degrees and no G's. Just set it there and just turn. Try to gain visual. He's on your 6, about a mile, 2 miles. Alright, you have visual, so just keep in this turn. Just keep tally. So I'll tell you when to increase the turn for both you and Prom Date. So Prom Date, go ahead and follow him. You're descending. You see the triangles on your canopy? They keep pointing down. It keeps having you descend. I want you to do that again, but try to keep your altitude. So just do the same thing. Let's keep the altitude. So Roadie, just go level. Roadie, go level. Wait for him to get behind you, then you'll start the turn. Just want you to keep that altitude and tally. It's 400 knots. It's fine. Go slow down. All right, Roadie, left bank. You see that diamond on the top side of your screen? Keep that parallel with the horizon to keep you straight.
Gotcha.
All right, you see he's pulling up on your 6 now. So let's keep him right there while using your cues to keep it straight. All right, still have visual. Prom date, reverse the turn. Yep, keep it lag pursuit. Watch your speed, watch your distance. Gaining on them pretty quick. Don't want to overshoot. Yep, reverse the turn, cool. So Roadie, you don't have to reverse the turn right when he reverses, because that puts them on your nose and you lose visual. So you could delay that reversal.
Copy.
Since he's so far away.
Copy.
All right, prom date going to the vertical. Keep him right there. Very good, Roadie. Right now you don't have to follow him because there's no gain. You can always see him going up. So just kind of, you can follow him up, but kind of keep your nose a little level. All right, now here comes the hard part. He's against the ground. So just make sure you can lock him up if you would like. Make it a little easier. Keep him visual, keep him visual. Prom date reverse. Hold off the reverse, and now. Roadie, yep.
Oh, that worked nicely.
Yeah. Alright, prom date reverse. Hold it, reverse. So it's a slight delay. And yep, and hold it in reverse. Alright, now kind of not that way, the other way, because now you lost visual, so you want to roll the other direction.
Bingo.
Alright, keep continuing. Prom date reverse. Yep, very good. And reverse. Alright, good. Yep. Alright, now go nose up, prom date. And now go into a right bank, prom date, and Roadie, try to gun him down.
Bingo.
Now go ahead and go to idle, prom date.
Caution. Caution.
Just keep that turn coming. Put it in front of him and then kind of ease off somewhere in there. Gotta put power in, Roadie. Just a little bit. Alright, prom date, put power. Let's keep that turn. Try to see if you can get him in this turn, Roadie.
My gun's on fire.
In master arm.
Copy that.
Oh, it's not firing? I don't know then.
I have no idea. My gun's on fire.
Alright. Okay, well, terminate. We'll look at the Tacview and stuff.
Okay, terminate.
My mask. Take a look. My mask arm is on.
Yeah, I see it. Go ahead and exit.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I tried to fire my gun. It didn't fire either.
Oh, that's weird. Huh. I don't know what happened. Well, trying to get the turning gun right there. Yeah, I think it's prom date. You're free to go and head out. I'll just go over the debrief at Roadie here, and I'll upload this and stuff.
Okay. I definitely want to keep up with the course syllabus, so I know I missed the radar. So sometime in the future, even if it's just the two of us or whatever, I'd definitely like to make that up.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll upload. I think that's 2 more videos ahead. I'll have you watch that. I'll probably put it unlisted and have you watch it.
Okay. All right. Sounds awesome. Yeah, that was great, man. I haven't done that in a good while, man. So
It was a good flight.
yeah.
And good flight with you again, Prom.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, find the time. It's always stuff popping up like at the last minute. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally understand.
always something. But that was awesome. I'll catch you guys later.
All right.
All
See
right,
ya.
you take care.
Okay, later.
Hopefully I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah. This weekend it should be good. I should be good to go.
All right, cool.
Okay, man. See you later.
You
Yo.
take care.
All right.
All right. So Roadie, I'm pretty sure we both know the #1 thing for you to work on is the visual. That's probably the biggest thing here.
That is my biggest obstacle right now. The terrain, that's where I lose it.
Yeah. It's the terrain, and you have that, like, you kind of, you don't lose controlled flight, you just lose, I guess, your bearing, I guess, because I see your head kind of like freak out and go in different directions.
Yeah, because if at one point I was way too close, and I thought I overshot him, so that's why I turned my head to the left to see if he was there or not.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, just got to maintain a visual lock on him.
Yeah. And usually it's good if you're looking for something. For the most part, they're going to be moving relative to something behind them. So you'll scan a section of sky, see if anything's moving. You'll scan another section of sky. So you just kind of go in your sections to scan a section of sky. See if he's over there. Instead of looking at an entire 60-degree view in 2 seconds when you don't really look at it because it's too wide to see anything.
Yeah, too wide and doing it too fast.
Yeah. You in the Tacview on?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go there.
Debrief. All right, so yeah, I was trying to get you to do the interceptions. So this is good. This is the reason why you want to create space, like I was saying with the merge. So if the other adversary doesn't move, and you're able to create that space between the two of you, you could start that turn early and get right up behind them like that. So that's mostly for big aircraft and bombers. That's how to get behind an aircraft really quick. That's if they don't do anything, obviously, but they're probably going to turn into you to create that the geometrical problems.
Exactly. Totally understand that.
That was a good intercept. So it's about 3,300 perch. So yeah, the reason why we do the turn, so the defender can get a visual on the person, while just because right here you're not gonna be able to see them, they're directly behind you. So they go into a turn.
And I'm above him.
Yeah. Yep. Just try to gain visual. Here he was slowing down a little bit. You can watch your speed and look at the angle difference. There's 90-degree angle difference between the two.
Yep.
So with this, you could have turned this way, because you're not going to turn with him because you'll lose him. He'll be in your nose. So you have to you probably have to just turn the opposite direction to get that angle. Increase that angle at first and then decrease it on the way back. Because when you did that, no, probably not. But some of your turns or some of your rolls, like literally put them on your nose and you just lost visual. Yeah, like with this. Yeah. See, with this right here, when you roll in the direction to put him on your belly, yeah, see, and he's gone. So it would be better to just like just keep your roll coming. Keep not roll, but your I guess descent, and just continue to go straight and have them pass over you instead of banking in a direction. It's kind of a weird spot to be. See how Prom Date did? He just kept going down, kept you visual, and then started to bank to keep you visual on there.
Yeah, I see it.
Like always have your canopy pointed toward them so you could see. Yeah, that he just invisible, and he's gone because going so fast.
Now I'm just looking everywhere right now.
So it's visual again, 1,000 feet, climbing up, the level out, the turn, gaining visual, lights on about here. So you're just in lag, just chilling. In control here, and then he reverses. Well, he kind of goes down.
Yeah.
So he goes.
Once I get too close, that's when I lose them.
Yeah. So yeah, just continue this turn. There's no reason to do anything. Yep. Put your lift vector on him. So this is your lift vector. So you can put that. It's toward him. It's not gonna be perfect because you're not really in a turning fight here. And then yeah, you're keeping your canopy on him. That's good. Keeping visual. And you don't want to turn this way because you don't want to get in front of him. So it's good that you was kind of perpendicular so you can wrap around him and have him try to go in front of you. And then right here is almost a reversal. So now that you go this way, he could come up behind you right there. So it would be better to continue to go into him. So just to continue this roll to the left to turn into him instead of rolling out that way. I don't know if you had visual or not, but in a situation like this, you'd be looking straight up at them. You still want to turn into them to, yeah, like that. When you turn, do you use rudder?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you're like slipping sometimes. You shouldn't use the rudder unless you need to use it, mostly for gun strafes and using the gun mostly. At slow speeds, sometimes it's good to use it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Set. Back. Reset here. I think I was trying to get you behind him, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. See it got close right there, and I kind of stuck with him.
Yeah, see right here? It was good that you reversed because he obviously turned, but you could delay that reverse just a tad bit longer. because this being this close, you're not gonna. There's no turning room. He's basically 90 degrees already turned, so you can just
Exactly.
delay the turn a little bit to get to delay, number one, to gain speed, and number two, to kind of create that distance, because the closer you are, the easier it is for him to jink in a direction and lose visual or lose you real quick, or to slow down. More mistakes happen quicker when they're closer.
Exactly.
Yeah, see that early turn?
Mm-hmm.
Should have kept that turn. You probably would have been on the inside of him there. You would have kept that turn, you would have been on the inside. That was almost a midair. Then like these right here, I don't know if you lose control or.
No, I'm just looking, trying to find them.
So you're moving your aircraft instead of moving your head?
No, I'm moving my head. I'm looking back right now.
Okay.
And I'm trying to move the aircraft.
Yeah, because that movement flipped you and then put you in the opposite direction.
Exactly, because I thought I was gonna kiss the ground. I wasn't even looking at my altitude or anything. I was just paying attention to him.
Yeah, it should have just been straight or a nice little turn. Move your head before the aircraft for the most part. Sometimes that puts you in a bad spot there.
Yeah.
And that was it. This one. Yeah, see the offset? Trying to get the spacing between here. Then you're able to intercept real easy. But you lost a lot of speed there. Just kind of keep your speed up. And you're able to intercept.
Yeah, I think on that turn I pushed too many G's.
Yeah.
And he has more speed right now.
Yeah, going into the maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
No, about the same. That's the same there. And here, still about the same speed. This is a classic scissors. See how both your lift vectors are pointing toward each other?
Right.
This is a very neutral, very symmetrical maneuver here. So you're both neutral. There's really no one behind anyone's 9 line. And you keep going, still neutral. Yeah, pretty neutral. I think you have a little bit of a advantage here. But your nose is pointed down, which will get you in front a little quicker. And had you kind of not stall, but stop your descent, and he started to go back down. And that was good to turn this way, turn into this, because your canopy is on this side, so you'll just turn into it to keep him visual.
Exactly.
And you just come down. He's going up, super slow. That's when I lost visual.
Okay, here we reset again.
I put him behind you now. Trying to get that distance right.
Yeah.
Over here. Too hot. So if this happens, so I was trying to explain to him. So if you're coming in too hot on your whatever you're trying to do, you could climb bleeds energy, and then you could control your speed by climbing, decrease your speed by climbing, and then you can keep visual and come back down. So it'll instead of slowing down using your speed brakes, doing something weird, you can just go up to trade your speed for altitude and come back down.
Exactly.
There's a fight's on. It's hard to get visual because he's right behind you. I don't think you had it at any point.
No. Yeah, I think right there.
Yeah, these like barrel rolls, these aileron rolls are the bane of your existence. Like, floop, and it's like, okay, oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah, these rolls seems like you're disoriented, which it is because it's hard to see which way is which, and those chevrons and arrows are a good indicator of which way's forward, basically.
Exactly. They're there to give you the direction of where the airframe is going.
Yeah, the nose, yeah. So trying to exercise so you could just keep level. Like that's if someone's behind you and you go down, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage.
Yeah, because see right there,
Yeah.
I had them visible, but I didn't realize that I was
Nosing down, yeah.
exactly.
I was just trying to get the gun kill. You did pretty good staying behind them then. Had to give you
Yeah.
some little bit of pointers on the reversals. Delay that reversal just a tad bit, because you get the airframe in the way.
Yeah.
Yep, rolled with him. So with this, I was trying to get you to stall it. So it's risky when you do this because you know he's going slow, you're going slow, so it's kind of the same thing. But since
Right.
you're going to stall last, you're automatically going to be behind him. So if you keep
Exactly.
visual and you stall, it's fine. If you stall and lose visual, it's not fine. Because you could do a tip stall, your jet might flip over, it might do something weird, and you'll lose visual. But as long as you could keep that visual, you could bring your nose around pretty quick to get nose on. Yeah, it worked out pretty good there. And I was saying it's is the hard part. It's against the ground, so you can lock onto them, put the little green box around them,
Mm-hmm.
make it a little easier to see them. The reversal, so you can wait, then reverse. Because if you would have reversed the moment he did, it would be basically put you in lead, which in lead places your nose in front of him or in between you and him. You get blind, lose
Exactly.
tally. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's cool. You turned, cool, and then you just kind of wait till the other side, and then you turn back and watch your speed because he's coming up really quick. Turn, and then turn. Yep, just like that. Watch your speed, watch it. Yeah, with this, since you're above him now,
Mm-hmm.
it would be better to, you're already 90 degrees to the right. So you might as well finish that 90-degree right aileron roll to keep him visual or tally instead of reverting back and going,
back.
yeah, doing that
Exactly.
and risking losing him. That's why it's always difficult when you put yourself in a situation where he's below you and you try to turn and maneuver and he just goes in front of your nose and you lose him. Always good to
Exactly.
have him slightly above you. All right, let's go over my stuff. Prom date. Yeah, I started the Tacview late. I got the tail end of stuff.
Oh, that's okay. It was good. I like that engagement.
So now I'm behind him. Now I have to stay behind him. So I'm 1 mile, or altitude now. So 1.5 miles, about 9,000 feet. There's the turn. There's the tally. There's fights on. So I'm just keeping them at a 45-degree deep lag position.
Copy.
Yeah, you see how I'm above him now?
Yep.
See, I'm above him at same position you were in, and instead of turning the other way, I just finished my turn
Exactly.
and then kept him visual, kept him tally.
Yep. Keep your canopy instead of turning into his direction. Just
Yeah. Yep.
Roll it over.
Keeping them 2,000 feet. That would delay that turn, the reversal. And then I turn it over here. Reverses, and then I wait, then I reverse. This is when he was going super slow. Yeah, so when he's going slow, made this turn, he's going 0.46. I'm going 0.77. So he made that turn, and it just pushes me right in front, and now I'm in trouble.
Yep.
And then for me, since my speed is high, I'm not going to reverse my turn because that would kill me. So I'm gonna continue the turn into prom date because if I reverse here, there's no reason to reverse. He's just gonna be on my 6.
Exactly.
So I just continue the turn since he's slow, and I know he's slow. And the turn rate of me is 16. The turn rate of him is 20. But my turn radius is actually it's more on mine. Let's see. I was just trying to get away from him. This turn radius is 1,300 feet. Mine is 2,800 feet, but my rate is about the same. But I'll possibly be able to get around a little bit quicker. How see how we're both turning at the same rate ish, but since he's going slower, he's able to turn shorter, I guess, than me. So he's able to turn shorter than me, but I'm taking the same amount of time to turn all of this. So as I was saying with the 1 circle and 2 circle, so if this was a 1 circle fight, like I said, if you're slow, you want a 1 circle fight. So if this was a 1 circle fight, so just kind of imagine this is a 1 circle fight. This circle would get around before this one.
Exactly. He will wind up behind you.
Yeah. The only thing I got him on here is speed. And when it comes to guns, that's good because it's hard to get a gun kill off of someone. But if he had missiles, I would have been in trouble.
Yeah.
And I'm up high, hoping that he'll follow me and lose more speed. I'm going almost Mach 1, almost twice his speed here. Kind of reset somewhere over here. Yeah, he's just chilling in that pure pursuit now. Trying to get him to pull lead to get the sight picture of it. You can see the bottom of his jet a little bit there.
Yeah.
When you need to start jinking and stuff because he's setting up for a gun run. And when I was above him, I was able to get slow down slower than him. He's still going fast. I was able to pull lots of G's here, pulled 5, 6 G's here, lose a lot of speed, get him to pass in front, continue the roll over, and then I was able to get an advantage from this position here.
Yeah,
See,
I like that. That move was excellent.
yeah. See on here, him reversing, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Since
No, he
he's
should have
going,
continued.
yeah,
He
should have continued
to the right.
in that turn. Then I just evened or skewed the battlefield. Now I'm in the position to get him now. Again, he's below me, so I continue that right hand barrel roll. Go back down on him. Get to that pointless turn here. Yeah, so 1,100 feet, turn rate 19, so we're not going to get anywhere. We're just going to be going around in a circle.
Yep. Until somebody makes a mistake.
Yep, so here I assumed he might have been going slower than me, so I burned away, still keeping visual, and then climbed up because I already know he's slow. So I climbed up to get back around on him to make it an even fight again. But it does risk the fact that you might have a high aspect gunshot, but you are able to even the fight a little bit more than what it was before.
Right. Yeah, at that point he damaged you.
Yeah, I think so. I think we both got each other. I think. Or it's the other one. Yeah, then jinking back and forth. Once I get all lined up and ready, you jinx the other direction. Then he slowly started to slow down. Once you get them in that fixated jinking back and forth, they start to stop thinking about speed, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get this guy. Then he's slowly creeping up closer and closer, and by the time you know it, you're in front of him.
Exactly.
Just creeping. It's like, uh-oh. I was about this point, he was like, uh-oh. So I continue, I had to go up because I know he can't climb with me. And it's the climb and the lose speed at the same time. And then he got me on that one. Somewhere. Yep.
It's excellent.
Then this one. That was it. Oh, that's it for today. That was more than that. Guess that's it. Yeah. Well, yeah. So yeah, let's continue working on your visual. Make sure you practice with AI. See if you can keep a visual on them. Other than that, it was a good mission there.
Yeah, I thought it went well. Like I said, it's terrain. If I'm above him and he goes into a city, the terrain really messes him.
Yes. Yep.
And it's hard to visually lock onto him.
Yep, that is true. That's why it's good to be able to fly your jet without looking at your HUD. To get better at
Exactly.
looking up or down or any way but forward, but still fly the aircraft.
And that's something I need to practice with. It was excellent. Excellent